All right.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. We are 6 days into 2024, and I gotta say, I feel grown up. Yeah.
You're just all grown up now?
Yeah, I feel like a whole new man.
Nice. I mean, haircut helps with that.
The haircut does help. Yeah, I got a lot of them cut.
No, you just dyed the ends invisible.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that? That was always
I don't remember hearing that one.
I remember that one. Oh.
I dyed the ends invisible.
Yeah. I guess maybe as a girl you would hear it
I
more.
probably wouldn't say that out loud, though.
I hate you. Well, yeah, welcome back, everybody. I'm Sam.
And I'm Miguel, and welcome to the Didn't Anyone Mention podcast.
Yes.
This is I think our third or fourth episode with an official intro.
Yeah.
I feel like a big boy. I don't know what to say. But before we get into today's episode, we want to give a quick shout out to all of our listeners. So we have, in the United States, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different states that are listening. And
so
then
fifth.
What's that?
A fifth.
A fifth of the U.S. is listening to our podcast. Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Nice.
And our largest listener, our largest listener base is Utah.
Yeah, Utah.
Wow.
That's awesome. Yeah, we're in a couple countries too.
We're in more than a couple countries.
Yeah, which is super cool. I think Australia was one of the newer ones, right? Yeah, Miguel's counting them up right now for us to see.
Yeah, so we are in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different countries.
Dang.
Australia is a new one, yes, and so is Canada.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, so is Canada. So I can't believe we got Austria and Ireland before we got Canada. That's kind of odd, but yeah.
Since we are technically touching Canada.
My brothers from the north. Yeah. My Canadian brothers and sisters. But yeah.
But yeah, no, and also not just shout out of our listeners, but also we have a couple followers on Instagram too, and
yes.
We appreciate you guys following and keeping up to date with us. But definitely check it out whenever you have the chance.
What's the handle?
It's Didn't Anyone Mention.
Didn't anyone mention?
Yeah.
And that is also, so I know we've mentioned in the past, like emailing us is the easiest way, but just shoot us a DM on Instagram. Yeah. That's the easiest way to do it, really.
Yeah. At this point, I think I said in the last one, this one's just so much more user friendly.
Yeah.
So it's cool, and it gives us hopefully gives you guys a little sneak peek, or like the pictures we may look at and talk about in the podcast we post, so that you guys can see it as well. Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and we've even, if places we visit, we try to post that too.
We try to.
Yeah, we try to. I mean, have every time we, one time we have. But yeah, it's super cool.
That's enough of that.
Yeah, let's get into it.
What do you think I have for you today?
Man, I really have no idea.
You
said that you'd like me to ask a lot of questions.
Yes.
I have no idea. Is it spooky?
Not really.
No.
Maybe.
Is it a person? Or is it an idea?
It's an idea.
Oh.
That's a good way to put it. It's an idea.
Okay.
So, have you ever heard about Project Bluebeam?
Bluebeam.
Yep.
Where do you even find these things?
Most of the time, it's when Joe Rogan brings on a guest and they just say something.
And you're like, wait a second, what
and then I'm
say?
like, yeah, and they go over it really briefly. Like, so on this, I can't remember what episode of Joe Rogan it was, but they talked about Project Bluebeam very briefly. And I was like,
wait a second, what did you say?
I gotta know what this is about.
Bluebeam.
Project Bluebeam. It's pretty wild, I gotta say.
Okay, that sounds great. Let's do it.
All right. So, before we begin, there's a lot to unpack.
Okay.
So there's a lot of different conspiracy theories that go into it.
Conspiracy is my favorite.
It is a conspiracy.
Nice.
So the Bluebeam Project was created supposedly by a Sergei Manost.
Well, wait. So you're telling me like how you said that? It's not quite believed in, or it is? You're like...
So, this is kind of where I ran into a lot of issues. So,
okay.
Let's say, like, most conspiracy theories, like Skinwalker Ranch.
Yeah.
How easy was it to find How easy was it to find information?
I mean, there's a good solid couple of ones.
Pretty
but
easy, right?
Yeah, pretty easy.
Okay, Martin Luther King's bad side. For me, wasn't that difficult. This was difficult to find. Like anything about it. A lot of the time, it was just only websites that discredited it.
Oh.
Right. It even came across an FBI. What was it? So the FBI has like a vault that you can access with open cases to the public. So I came across a Project Blue Book, which was essentially the FBI's involvement into UFO cases, and in literally that you can find on the U.S. vault for the FBI, it says that the FBI saw 12,000 UFOs in a certain period of time. I can't remember what it was. So like 12,000 flying objects, right, in their area, and 500 of them were unidentified. They couldn't figure out what it was. Just in the FBI database.
Interesting.
Yeah, but that's not related to this.
But like it's just there.
Yeah, but like finding information on this
was
hard.
I'm excited.
It was difficult to find, but through my online ninja shenanigans, I found a few things.
Sounds great.
So when I say it was created by Sergei Marast, he was a Canadian activist. He was also an author, a poet, a conspiracy theorist, and he released a book called Project Bluebeam, in parentheses, NASA.
Okay.
So, if you didn't know, there's quite a few conspiracy theories around NASA.
I mean, I would say landing on the moon is the big one.
Yeah.
And NASA's at the center of it.
Do you believe in the moon landing?
I feel like that's a different topic for a different day.
Well, now I need to know if you do or don't.
Sure. I can believe in it.
That's not what I'm asking.
I don't know. Why haven't we not been up there every single month since, Like, whatever. What, you really think that back then, when we have more technology on our phones now, we haven't been back to go discover more stuff?
You know what else we had more technology on our phone in? The Model T.
What is that?
The Ford's Model T, one of the first vehicles.
Oh, pfft. I was like, I don't know what that is. Well, yeah, no, what I'm saying is, yeah, we have more technology on our cell phone now than what it took for us to get to the moon.
Right.
So how could we not be on it? Like, why are we not
visiting every month?
Why are we not visiting at least once a year or every few years?
Just be like, what's up, my moon?
Yeah, like we just landed on it and was just like, yeah, that's it.
Essentially, yeah. That's space race, baby.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard of.
Really? I'm pretty baffled by this
I'm not saying that I don't believe in it, but I'm not like all on board for it.
Let's say if you went to Spain and you went there, would you go back again every year?
Okay, that's completely different. Space is completely unknown.
So is Spain for us.
Nobody lives there. Like, people in Spain can, like, document it, send it, give us all this information 24/7. Right. Who's just hanging out on the moon giving us info?
I don't know.
You're telling me, like, all this talk about, oh, we could live on other planets. We just visited the moon, was like, oh yeah, no, definitely not. After the, 30 seconds we were on there?
I think it's very different than what you're describing, because the moon is non-inhabitable.
Well, I know
There's no resources.
But what I'm saying is, like, we haven't spent any more time. Like, we were just like, oh yeah, this is it. We're out.
All right. I think we revisit this later. Yeah, we revisit this later.
What? You didn't tell me what you thought.
Oh, I 100% believe that we went to the moon.
Oh, okay, you 100%. But Why? You believe in aliens.
Yeah.
Okay. Noted.
What do you mean? Why do you mean?
I'm just curious.
I believe in aliens and the moon landing.
That's fine. Do you believe the Earth is flat or round? Okay.
Let's not get crazy here, because we both know if the Earth was round, the water would fall off. I'm just kidding.
That's awesome. I don't know. No, I believe in the moon landing. I'm just trying to make it change.
I don't feel like you are.
No, I know it is. I know people are like, oh, the shadows or whatever.
Yeah, the shadows. As if you know what the shadows look like on the moon, my guy.
Yeah, I know. No, I'm joking. I just wanted to see what you would say because I know you know that I would not believe in it.
Okay, I couldn't. It was hard for me to tell if you could or could. I was a little worried, guys. I was a little worried. I was worried where I was gonna have to hit pause.
No, I believe in the moon landing. I was just giving you a hard time.
Okay.
But
okay. But
if somebody
here it is.
Move in, boys.
Move in. We got her.
No, I was just saying, if somebody like gave me a really good case and has some pretty hardcore facts, then yeah, I could think about it.
What would cause you to
like hardcore? Like, dude, I got flight plans.
Like what?
Like talking to the ghost, or I don't even know if he's dead. Who's the guy who stepped on the moon?
I have no idea. Let's look it up real quick.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
It's definitely not Arnold. Are you joking? We're gonna pause it. I can't remember who did it.
Midas. No, I'm joking.
Okay, and we're back.
Neil Armstrong.
It was Neil Armstrong on Apollo 11.
See, Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's pretty close. In my brain, it's super close.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. You're right. If you rearrange the letters,
it's right there. It's a, what is it called when you have to rearrange the letters to make
Scrabble.
A word? Wordle. No, I'm joking. Anyways, okay, I'll stop distracting you. Keep on talking about it.
So yes, this Project Bluebeam.
Okay.
There's a bunch of people that think NASA is going to be the front of the New World Order. That they're creating plans right now and desensitizing people to accept a New World Order. We'll touch on that later.
Sounds great.
But yeah, okay. So essentially, the Project Bluebeam that Sergei Manost published in 1994, he talked about 4 steps on how Project Bluebeam is going to be developed. Okay. It's going to be here. And essentially, it's going to be to help with the UN, the United Nations, and it's going to be attempting to install a new age religion that the Antichrist is
Cthulhu? No, I'm joking.
that the Antichrist is the one deity across the globe. We're no longer going to have different countries. We're no longer going to have world war. We're all going to live in peace under one
Antichrist
or one government. That's the New World Order. That's what this pretty much touches on.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
it's a lot.
That's only 2 things. You said there's 4.
I'm going to go over the 4 steps.
Okay.
So the 4 steps are, we're going to go through the first step, and it involves the use of a technology to create earthquakes.
Japan?
UFO sightings and other natural disasters in order to make people believe that a great cataclysm is going to happen. Cthulhu. Right. Yes, Cthulhu. Also, when all this happens, it's going to somehow unearth discoveries that's going to put all religions into second guessing, into doubt. So there's going to be new religious discoveries.
The only thing with religion is pretty much across the board, everybody has an end. Everybody has a massive world ending with natural disasters. So what is going to be the one thing that is different? They're all pretty similar on that aspect.
Yeah, but also it's inherently difficult to convince people of, what am I trying to say here? It's hard to shift people's minds in a religion about something about their religion.
Yeah, I know that.
Have you heard of the Shroud of Turin?
Turin.
You might have heard. So it's essentially it's what's considered to be a fabric of Jesus Christ that he wore. You know, the Shroud of Turin.
Turin sounds familiar, but I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, it is completely debunked. It is just from medieval times. Guy that just forged it and wanted to make some quick cash.
Damn.
It is documented. That's what it is. But the people Christians, I'm going to say, believe that it is from Jesus Christ.
Dang.
So it's just one example. It's hard to shift the mentality of a religious group.
Well, yeah, if you have so many people believing with you, first off, like if you have that much of a background, that much of like a support system.
Yeah, everybody around you telling you.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. So that's step number 1. The whole world is going to experience some kind of cataclysm. Okay, that's step number 1. And step number 2 involves okay, so there's 2 different theories about what step number 2 is. We're going to go over both. Okay.
Interesting.
So step number 2 is to fake an alien invasion.
To fake one.
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
So what's going to happen is they're going to have holographic images.
Oh my gosh,
portrayed.
Mysterio?
Oh my God, you're right. Yes.
Okay.
Think of Mysterio. They're going to have...
Marvel peeps.
Yes.
Watch Spider-Man Homecoming.
Yes. And you'll know exactly what we're talking about.
No, wait. Far From Home.
Far From Home, yes. So they're going to fake holographic images all around the world with the most common deity in that area. Okay? So and what's going to happen is that it's going to create a sense of panic, right? Everybody's going to come outside and they're going to see this giant projection of Jesus Christ, let's say, here in Boise.
Did you already say they're taking out technology?
That's coming later.
Because, if they say that's based off of their area, it'd be like, oh my gosh, there's Jesus, or this over here. Oh, well, over here
You don't think an alien invasion's going to alert our TVs to go...
I don't know.
And it's going to be like something...
Well, no, not just our TVs.
Everything.
TikTok, Snapchat, everything.
Everything. And you're going to go outside and you're going to see a giant holographic image.
Nobody's going to take a picture of it and post it?
I'm not saying that's not going to happen.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
But everybody's going to be outside looking at these deities, these gods from somewhere, okay? And it's going to create a sense of panic and confusion among the population across the globe, okay? But there's going to be some people that won't believe the aliens, and they're not. Some people are inherently atheist, right? Mm-hmm. But that deity, that God, will be able to speak all languages. Not going to matter. They're going to speak all languages, okay? Mm-hmm. And after they're done giving their spiel, all of the holographic gods are going to transform into one, you guessed it, my boy the Antichrist. And that's going to be the start of the New World Order. Okay, so that's step 1, the first part of it. The second part of it...
Seems a little Christian if they were saying Antichrist, but okay.
Right. So where we are now, right, if somebody put up a holographic image, we would think it's pretty corny, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, dude.
Yeah.
I see the projector screen behind you.
Yeah.
You know, it's not going to be very, very giving. The idea behind it is to have the whole world have one united religion, have everybody underneath one centralized belief, one centralized faith, right? Never mind. There is only that one part. So that's going to happen, supposedly.
Oh, so then you're saying that maybe another step might break out into 2?
Yes. Yeah, okay. I think that's step 3, and then step 4 has 3 different parts to it.
You're just getting excited.
Okay. I was. So that's essentially step 2.
Okay.
Alien invasion, holographic image. Your God is going to turn into the Antichrist, and we're going to have one world order because of panic, essentially. Okay? The third step involves the use of technology.
Here it is. Let me know.
To create a fake religious event.
Okay.
Such as the appearance of the Messiah or a prophet using, yet again, another hologram or special effects. And so while doing this is the other part, it's either that or the government or governments, the one New World Order government, is going to use extremely low frequency radio waves to control your mind and believe, or to make you believe that God is talking to you, to make you more susceptible and believe in this New World Order, believe in this Antichrist.
So we're going from technology to mind control.
It's using technology for mind control.
That's what I'm
And
saying.
supposedly this had been done before. And that's why Sergei Manos wrote it in his book. He's like, it is
Done
plausible.
Before where?
Let's pause it real quick because I got to look it up.
Okay.
So, what we found was a little weird. Not exactly what I was looking for, but so essentially what happened was in this book he referenced a Michael Dukakis and his wife Kitty. So Michael Dukakis was actually a presidential candidate around George Bush's time.
So that's why he didn't get elected.
And Kitty was his wife that they used this ultra low frequency to cure her depression. So essentially, while her husband...
Before or after the election?
During his campaigning.
Jeez.
He became... she didn't like all the limelight, all the political sphere around her. So in the early time, she resorted to amphetamines. She was severely depressed, and they gave her amphetamines. So think of like Adderall, things like that. She became addicted to it. So he cut her off. Right, and then she started drinking, and it was okay for a while, but then again she became addicted, and the only thing that seemed to cure her was ECT, which was called electroconvulsion therapy, which is not, well, from what I'm reading, really radio waves, ultra low frequency.
It's electricity.
It
shocks.
is, yeah, and it has a bad stigma around it because it can do what? Memory loss.
Yeah, and fry your freaking brain.
Yeah.
It used to be done to that, lobotomies, all that was a lot of people who had mental illnesses.
Yeah, and it's pretty much banned now because it causes significant and irreversible brain damage. So maybe this guy, Sergei Manos, did not have the best information.
Well, yeah, because electromagnetic, like electricity and sound waves are, I feel like, different on a mass scale. Because, like, what, are you going to have everybody have to check in?
Are radio waves sound waves?
Radio waves are sound waves, yeah. But electricity, is it the same as electricity, though?
I don't know. They both have a sign, though. Because when you read electricity, like AC goes up and down the palabra. Am I saying that right? Yeah.
I don't know. But either way, I feel like how are you going to get everybody if she had to be, like, physically...
Okay, well, let's say that it did work out. This is possibly why this was hard to find. It was debunked. Let's say it worked. Okay. So yeah, the government's going to send out extremely low radio waves and control your mind and make you believe that God is talking to you, or the Antichrist is talking to you.
Awesome.
Pretty awesome, right? Okay, that's step 3.
Cool.
Now, step 4 has 3 different steps in it. Step number 1 within step 4 is making humanity think an alien invasion is about to occur in every major city. We're talking LA, New York, Bangkok.
Wait. So you're saying that they did a fake one, but then now they're like, it's actually happening
Something's happening now.
Okay,
right?
okay.
Creating more panic, more distress. Okay? And this one was kind of a weird one, but making the Christians think that the rapture is about to happen.
Yeah, that's a big one. And I think Christianity is like majority, right?
Not the majority.
No, not the majority. It's Hinduism?
No, it's Islam.
Islam.
So technically Christianity is number 1.
Yeah.
But it is only 30%. Islam is a little over 20%. So those two together make over half of the world's religion.
Yeah.
Which is a lot.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of other religions stem from those two.
Yeah, I would agree.
Due to the Crusades back in the day.
Got
But, so, yeah, the rapture is about to happen. And so after that, after we think a rapture is happening, a mixture of electronic and supernatural forces, allowing the supernatural forces to travel through fiber optics, like things that hook up to your home, coax cables, which is what gives us Wi-Fi and TV, power cables, telephone lines, and they're going to be able to penetrate all electronic equipment and appliances that will by then have a special microchip, so this is in the future, installed, and it will cause chaos. Pretty nutty.
Nice.
Yeah. And people, after all this chaos happens, looting, violence, they will officially accept the New World Order.
Sorry, I had an eye roll in there.
Yeah. Yeah. Funny enough, this has happened before in our history in the world.
When?
USSR. Russia.
Yeah.
They use pretty much these tactics to make people conform to communism.
They're like, wanna bet?
Yeah. It's happening.
I mean, I would say there's some rough stuff that's happened in history.
Yeah, you're telling me. And so, okay. So those are the 4 steps. You have step 1. I already forgot what it was. Is to fake natural disasters.
Yeah.
Okay. Step 2, alien invasion, where fake alien invasion, where your God turns into the Antichrist. Okay. Step 3 is going to be the use of technology to create more religious events to make you believe into the Antichrist or the Messiah. And then step 4, broken down, is to create chaos, violence, and then to make everybody in the world break down and officially accept the New World Order under one religion, one government. There's going to be no more wars. There's going to be just peace on Earth.
Jeez.
After everybody conforms to the New World Order. That's essentially what this is. Okay?
Dude, that's so funny because we just talked about Cthulhu last week.
I know.
That's awesome.
And then, so people that follow the Project Bluebeam believe that parts of this have already come into play. So, psychologically, things have already been made. Manost saying that in 2001, A Space Odyssey from Star Wars and Star Trek series movies all involve some kind of invasion. They're desensitizing us into like an invasion.
I mean, think about how big alien movies were there for a while.
Bro, they're still big.
I mean, they're still big. I mean,
I love alien movies. And all of these movies, have all these nations coming together. Jurassic Park. Think of that. They think about evolution in order to protect God's world. Yeah.
Dang. That's crazy. I mean, even thinking about... Yeah, there's a lot of... I even low-key think about 2020.
What do you mean 2020?
The fires that... Was it in Australia?
Yeah.
Fire in Australia. Everything was just mass panic. We had a pandemic. We... pretty much everybody turned to technology because we got quarantined. And then nonchalantly was like, yeah, UFOs, aliens are real.
That is the wildest thing, and when
nobody talked about it.
It's because that's how they planned it. It's
exactly.
It's the same thing that's happening with Epstein's list right now. Yeah. What they're doing, they're releasing some of these names. They're releasing the first book, let's say, and what's going to happen is the search results are going to go way up, and then they're going to trickle out the rest that are really important, but nobody's going to care about it anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what's going to happen, because they are releasing more names here in a few days.
Yeah. Well, and that's even with... Yeah, because then it's random stuff all of a sudden gets viral, and you're like, how does this... there's so much other crap going on, and how is this... don't get me wrong, somebody jumping over and attacking a judge because they didn't get parole is pretty rough. But,
that's
how funny. Is that,
But, yeah. So,
especially, going into an election year, you're like, wow, that's interesting that's, was viral.
Yes. But also, it's funny to think, how we have... What am I trying to say here? We put so much... We know things happen during election years, right? We know things happen, right? In 2008... Nah, I'm not even going to bring that up.
2020.
Yeah, we know things happen during election years. I'm a huge conspiracy theorist, and I
Same,
think
yeah.
everything has a plan behind it.
Oh, 100%.
Whether we believe it or not, let's say you're in a very high ranking political position, okay? You're going to want to protect the people around you.
Yeah.
Because what's around you? You see power, you see money,
Yeah.
right? If you're going to be the one to whistleblow, or you're going to be the one to destroy it all, who else are all these people around you connected to?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, yeah, and plus, like, also, why would you give up that money and power? And you're saying that they're not a plan? You have so many hands in the cookie jar at that point. They're all thinking about it.
They are. And what are they thinking about? They're looking at each other. They're like, yeah, we're coworkers, we're friends. But really, they're just trying to get more power than the other. More power than the other.
Exactly.
You can get me riled up on this. And I'd like to think of them as just regular people. But in reality,
At one point they were.
At one point they were. But then what happened, especially these career politicians, they start off in politics. And they probably have a good drive, a good sense of morality.
Yeah, they want to do good.
They want to do good
stuff, yeah.
But, they make one little slight right turn. Oh, damn, I just made $500,000.
Well,
doing this one deal.
I bet they don't
lobbying
even have
against
to do it.
lobbying against this one thing. Fuck, all right. And now everybody that person's connected to knows that this guy's a little crooked, or will lobby against something. And it's crazy how these chairwomen, they live off $174,000, $175,000 salaries, yet their net worth is in the millions. Make that make sense.
Man, you're getting on one. Yeah,
explain to me how their stocks, how they know how to pick stocks, how they know it's just going to skyrocket.
Yeah, that is so crazy. Yeah, I mean, I could see how people, like, have seen, like, oh, this has already, like, low-key happened. The steps. But I feel like that's how every, like...
I agree. I feel like it's very easy to nitpick, like, this has happened here. There's a lot of things going on in the world that go unnoticed. But if you want to look for it, it's probably there.
Yeah.
Exactly. But I don't know. It's an interesting theory. I don't know if I quite believe in it. But I found it interesting.
It is interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I do think a lot of people in power, like, yeah, they're going to back each other up, like you said. No matter, like, it's just how it goes. Yeah,
it's like a friend group. You guys are going to hang together.
Yeah, you guys are going to support each other.
Now, imagine that friend group is in charge of hundreds of millions of dollars.
Hundreds of millions of people.
Hundreds of millions of people. And if you can control some of that, but on the back end make some money.
Yeah. Well, not even money, but, like, also, like, power is, like, a big thing.
Yeah, and realistically, I don't blame them. Because I feel like if I was in their position, I would most likely do the same thing.
Yeah, it's just, I would never want to be.
Neither would I.
So that's why I think it makes it different, yeah.
Yeah, I would never want to be in that position, but I understand, like...
It's just human nature.
Yeah, you want to protect the people around you, because if it's somebody's friend of a friend of a friend that lives across the state...
Yeah.
You don't really know them.
Like, think about, like, if it's like, oh, well, this is from your superiors, you need to do it.
Yeah.
And
what kind of plans do they have?
This is actually a psych experiment one time.
What was it?
So it was like paid actors, but the people didn't know that. So it was like a paid actor was electrocuting, or like a person was electrocuting another person.
Okay.
And it was pretty much, I want to say it was like, I don't remember why. It was like either they got the answer wrong or they were just being told by an authority figure that you need to electrocute them. Like, to zap them.
And they just did it?
And they did it. Because somebody else told them to, an authority figure. And people, like, but it was an actor, so they weren't actually, like, doing it, because it would have been inhumane at that point. Mm-hmm. But an actor was, like, pretending. But, like, some of them went, like, to, like, lethal amounts because somebody else told them to. They just didn't, like... They did it because somebody else told them to.
Well, okay, have you ever heard of the Stanford prison experiment?
Oh, yeah. I definitely know that one.
We should do that one week.
We could totally look at that one.
Because that is...
Honestly, psychological, or like psych experiments are crazy. And that's
They're-
how you get into like that more like that sociology / psychology, like how your brain is,
Yeah.
but also how you interact with other people, because prisoners start pretty much a rough over that Stanford experiment is the prisoners, they hired a bunch of college kids to be prisoners and guards.
Yep.
And the guards with that authority and that like power started acting different. They started treating the prisoners worse. The
Started
prisoners,
raping them.
Yeah, it was bad. It was really bad.
And it was for, I want to say it was only a
They had
month,
to cut.
right?
They had to cut it short.
Yeah.
They couldn't even do it the full time.
Yeah, because they started getting into their minds about like,
Mhm.
oh, I'm a cop, I can do whatever I want here.
Mm-hmm.
Beating them, raping them.
Mm-hmm. It was gross.
How
It was
nu-
awful.
How nuts is that?
Yeah, but it's just.
How do you go back to school after that?
You don't. I think a lot of them like had like problems.
You have to.
It's just crazy. But yeah, that's what it just happens. Power happens, authority. Like, yeah, like if you have your commanding officers, like, get it done. Get those projectors out there. Get this.
Get it done.
Get it done. You're going to do it.
So now imagine that on a mass scale where
Yeah, exactly.
where
That's
a
what I'm saying.
deity, the Antichrist took over. You're just going to believe it.
Yeah, exactly.
Nutty.
Nutty.
So, yeah, that's what I got for you guys this week.
Well, it was awesome. We kind of took a little crazy, but it was great. I really liked it.
You did?
Was it Bluebeam?
Yeah, the Project Bluebeam.
Project Bluebeam. BB.
Yeah, we're going to make a post about it. So make sure you check out our Instagram handle at Didn't Anyone Mention.
Yeah.
Comment if you have any questions. I'd more than love to answer some questions.
Yeah, for sure. And let us know. We just bouncing around ideas. We come across these random ones, but seriously, if you have anything you're curious about, let us know.
Yeah, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
See ya.
Bye.